I'm Daniela Gusman, the co-founder and executive director of RISE, which is Relationships Inspiring Social Enterprise. RISE is being co-founded with Bond Events, and the reason RISE is being set up is because of the lack of resources that are available to social entrepreneurs from low-income countries to access fundamental resources that they need, whether that's talent, skills, or funding. And here we are 5 years later. From a seed idea, we've gone from strength to strength, training job seekers to become job creators, despite all the challenges that the world has thrown at us. We have trained over 50 entrepreneurs through our innovative Design and Build and Entrepreneurship in Loco Fellowship program. And after the fellows graduate through the program, they become pioneers. And we're now incubating over 30 businesses through that incubation program. And our 50 fellows who have graduated from the In Loco Fellowship are now employing over 160 people, therefore fighting poverty through enterprise.
The RISE incubation program has equipped me with a lot of skills, from finance to running a successful business. But my biggest takeaway is that architecture is not only about infrastructure, but improving the lives of vulnerable communities as well.
We've run 4 cohorts of In Loco Fellowships. In Loco is an innovative design, build and entrepreneurship training program, transforming job seekers into job creators. We are also developing infrastructure and essential buildings and services for vulnerable communities who would otherwise not have access to such services. So therefore we're having an impact on 2 levels. On the one hand, vulnerable communities are getting much needed infrastructure development, and at the same time unemployed youth are getting much needed life skills and work experience and building their professional networks through the In Loco Fellowship.
RISE has referred the project to me in Ndebele sebakeng so thweng ke Phedisanong Children's Center. Phedisanong Children's Center ke sebaka seo re fumaneng hona le bothata ba di-facility. Hono sena kitchen metsi a le siyo, mme a re fihla mona re hlokometse hore bana ba bakalo ka 200 ba phela ka ntle 3 meals a day. Ba hlapa ka metsi a tswang dinokaneng, ba nwa ona metsi ano. So project ena nang ela thusa Phedisanong ka hore re hahe kitchen mo bana ba teng hona ba le tsena ba seng ba ja dijo tse hlwekileng tse bileng di fihlang ka nako, ba se ba hlapa ka metsi a fresh, a futhumetseng, and the toilets and everything se dile ka tsela e nepahetseng.
We've had the privilege of working with some incredible communities over the last 5 years. We've worked with orphans and vulnerable children, starting with the God's Love Center 5 years ago, which was our very first project, where children were living in very cramped conditions, sleeping on the floor, and they now have a beautiful home with also some income generating activities, including a computer lab and a grocery store. We've also worked with communities living with intellectual and physical disabilities. We've built Lesotho's first centre for intellectual disabilities, where children can now get diagnosed and also get proper training and life skills so that they can live to be independent citizens of society. We've also assisted the Lesotho National Federation for Organisations for the Disabled, who were desperately in need of a building that was fully accessible for people with all abilities, and therefore it's now fully accessible for people in wheelchairs. We've also improved the lives of hundreds of children and infants and babies of factory workers who spend over 10 hours of their working day in the textile factories. And these facilities now have playgrounds and toilets and nice beds. And we did that in partnership with a local carpentry school. So the students also got the much needed work work experience, making all of these improvements from recycled products. We've also had incredible impact in rural communities where they were previously cut off from the outside world as they couldn't cross a dangerous river every time it rained or snowed. And now those communities have access to essential services such as clinics and schools and markets. Our young entrepreneurs design and build boreholes with running water, toilet facilities, school kitchens and food gardens with rainwater harvesting for the 5 hub schools, who previously had no running water and extremely unhygienic pit latrine toilets, which meant that adolescent girls couldn't even go to school during menstruation. Their everyday school lives are literally being transformed. We've also offered technical assistance with the launch of a heritage and conservation program, looking at how we can preserve historical and culturally important buildings and infrastructure in order to make sure that they are conserved and preserved from further damage. And we've been working with youth on that program. So you might ask, what's next? We've just launched a research and innovation program to develop local, indigenous, sustainable and carbon neutral building materials that will help both the environment as well as the economy and create manufacturing jobs.
At Rise, we believe that if you want to go fast, you should go alone. But if you want to go far, you should go together. We have this dream, a dream to build the very first enterprise hub in Lesotho. We've had this dream for quite a while, because this is a much needed space for aspiring and startup entrepreneurs to ideate, to build and learn from each other. As you can imagine, we want to go far as having the almost 40% youth unemployment rate in Lesotho reduced to 0. But we can only get there if you and us work together.
We are at a point where we are so excited. We have been through this journey with you, everyone who's been with us from the beginning, through sharing a poster, social media engagement, on our LinkedIn, watched a lecture, been in a webinar, and just continuously been on our MailChimp and been giving to us for the past 5 years.
So here's how you can help.
It takes just $50 a month for 3 years to support an entrepreneur through our business incubation and training services. And remember that for every fellow that's trained and for every entrepreneur that's developed, on average they create jobs for about 5 other people within 3 months of completing the program. So just think about the impact that your $50 or 50 euros a month can have on vulnerable youth, unemployed youth in developing countries such as Lesotho.
Or you can volunteer to become a business mentor for a young entrepreneur in Lesotho. Just express your interest on info@riseint.org.
We are so excited because for the first time since our inception in 2017, we are a fully led Basotho organization. So thank you, our supporter. It's been an amazing 5 years. Here's to the next 5, and please do keep following what Rise does.